That's when my mind shifted to say, "Yeah, but just hey, you just keep digging."
This is not an advice to you guys. Don't dig. Leave me alone.
Chilling with Lady Jess. Yeah, yeah. Chilling with Lady Jess. Chilling with Lady Jess.
The way we've understood each other, I think also we were raised differently. I think that was the biggest way we needed to understand each other. So for me, I mean, I have a twin sister. Like, sharing is my thing. Like, I'm not as possessive of my things. And for you, you're very possessive. And you've gotten better. You definitely have, But I think you like if I can psychoanalyze.
Plus, I never had a sister. I never had to share the boys' stuff with the boys' stuff.
Yes.
My stuff was my stuff.
Exactly. And I think that's the biggest hurdle that we had to get through. That I'm used to sharing everything, and you're used to everything being yours. So for me, those boundaries are not like, my sister's a very pedantic person, but like, I'll go and I'll bother her. You understand? And with her, it's love all the way. I think she's accepted. Like, she's not a morning person. I am. Like, I mean, as soon as I open my eyes, I've got music playing. I'm this.
Woo, guys, come traumatized on the day. And I don't even know. It wasn't even Friday, but she was playing Friday kind of music in the morning. I'm like, oh,
that's me. That's me. Like, I'm always even now. People will be like, like, you always amaze me, because when the minute you open your eyes, and she'll be like, I've just opened my eyes, then I know, okay, I need to give her like 10-15 minutes to get into her groove. It's that understanding. And because for me, I'm not like, even with my sister, if we fight, I still love you. I'm not going to disappear. You understand? And I think with you and I, we really needed to come to that understanding with each other, because the way our personalities are similar but different. And I think in terms of coming together, we really needed to come and have that patience with each other and have that understanding of each other and to accept each other, right? And I think more often than not, it comes from a place of being able to speak. And I think initially when we first started staying with each other, it was more like we lived our own lives. Like, you're there, I'm here. You didn't try, I didn't really try much. I tried in the beginning, then I just realized,
I'm bothering her.
I'm bothering her. But actually, I've realized with the type of person you are not there to be left alone. You are there to be dug out. And then that's when my mind shifted to say, yeah, but just hey, guys, you just need to keep digging.
This is not an advice to you guys. Don't dig. Leave me alone.
Like, we'll get there eventually. And I think it's also that I also needed to learn how to approach. I mean, delivery sometimes is everything. And you learn people as you get to know them. But it's that thing of, okay, if I'm approaching Jessica, this is how I need to approach it. So that's like any other kind of friendship. But for us, I guess it puts it into stark contrast because we're living with each other. So as much as maybe you were living your world and I was living my world, at the same time, we're under the same roof. Raised with different values, see things differently and appreciate things differently. And it's just taking that time to meld.
And obviously this will now, even a marriage and even an actual romantic relationship, the same dynamics come into play.
Exactly. And what I've learned with living with people is that if it bothers me, then I must address it. So before, let's say I get annoyed, I'm like, hey Jessica, let dish like it, that's been sitting here for 2 days. When in all honesty, it's bothering me. Does that make sense? Therefore, it cost me nothing. Because now what I actually realize is ego and pride. Because then the question is, who does you think will do it?
And then you think the person will do it, and then it accumulates and stuff like that, and then it's actually digging and it's upsetting.
Now you're at a stalemate, and it's pride. Yeah, it's a stalemate.
It's not serving either you nor me to be quiet. quiet.
And then actually life is just easier if just you wash the dish and you move on. If you feel like it's something that you can't deal with, it's the place just to say, hey, just come in and shame, dishes bother me. You understand?
Yeah.
Or it's to say, hey, Nina, just come in and dish can sit for 5 days. No, that's not what happens in our house. I'm just saying.
I know there's some people listening to this conversation thinking all these examples apply here. But
No,
guys,
that's not what you're saying. What you're saying is just, like, for example, Nyarasa, I like noise. I can wake up and play music. I can sleep to music. I can listen. I like music, and I like it loud.
Yeah.
I'm not the type of person where, hey, shit, what are the lyrics again? I mean, I want to feel the flow vibrating. So I actually realized, why do we stress each other? When Jessica goes to work, trust me, volume.
Dear Hi-Fi Corporation, please don't sell her sound. Don't do it.
And I know for Jessica needs quiet spaces.
Guys, classical music, silent things.
Exactly.
The girl.
So then, we meet each other halfway, we compromise, and then sometimes she listens to my music with me.
Yeah.
You see, or
I
she'll
sleep
play-
with headaches, but I try for the sake of relationship
You
building.
see?
And it's not like I hate the experiences, that you actually learn that it's actually nice. Look at me listening to a Korean music.
There we go. You see, I'm like, you don't even have to like the groups that I like, but hello, welcome to K-pop.
Yeah.
And it's also just that growing with loving people for what they are and accepting them for what they are. Not necessarily what our differences is what makes us special and what makes us connect. We don't have to be the same person, because then that's being friends with myself, and actually it's boring. We meet people who enlighten me. I have a friend who's in physics. He's a PhD in physics, and some of the things she speaks about, I don't even know how to connect in my brain, but I think to myself, wow. And then I sit there and then I read and I'm like, okay, she was talking about this. What's a boson? Okay, they've discovered dark matter. And I think, wow, my world, boom, open. It's the same with you. You've taught me a lot of patience and a lot of giving people time. I mean, in terms of our relationship, there'd be times where I've said something, for example, and I thought it was innocent, and let's say maybe you stab. And in my initial reaction before, it'd be like, yes, Jessica. Hey, then I don't know. Vexen, don't know, she's happy, she's not happy, don't know what. And then I actually had to come back and say, whoa. 2 steps behind. You don't have the full picture. This is her house at the end of the day. And maybe she just needs space. She just doesn't need someone in her face. Maybe that's all it is. And whatever she's dealing with, maybe she has people that she's going to talk to and she's going to get there. It's not necessarily a reflection of me, right? Sometimes we react, and especially when you live with someone, I've realized that they're the easiest to take frustrations out on, because where are you going really? You're not going anywhere. And also you're the person who's direct. Like, someone could annoy you at work, ne? But because I live with you, you found me annoyed, and because we haven't really turned our house into a home, it still feels like you are at war. It's something I had to learn the hard way, and it's a lesson I learned through you. Really, to say, yes, we live together, yes, but this person might need their space, and that looks different for everybody. You see, me, I may dig a hole. I'm dig a hole. I don't answer my phone. I'm very much dig a hole. But when I'm ready, I come out. Like, when I'm ready, I'm out. And Jessica is the type where, hey, you can see. You see, like,
guys, she's teaching you a lot about me.
Whoa, wait. Let's close this off.
Yes,
But it's interesting because I like to look back on my friendships, and a lot of, and because I've also met you later in life, a lot of my friends I've had from a lot earlier. You understand? And there's certain things that I've realized about myself in my adulthood, especially because we live together. You see, we can't run away from each other unless you're trying to move. So you can tell me.
Guys, I tried. Let's just tell you how I kept saying, I'm going to move. And the Lord did not align it to be so. So I got to a point, I'm like, Jessica, deal with where God has placed you. And you will find peace in that. And He will promote you, because the Word of God says what? Promotion comes from God. So, guys, I actually don't want to leave this person.
It just is
She even has a twin, so Sialwa, Siswami, we are fighting. So,
no, but I mean, I think it's been a great experience. I mean, we've lived with each other, what, going on 4 years?
Yeah, 3 years.
3 years now. And they say it takes about 3 years to really know a person, And I think I've really seen that through Jessica, especially because...
So my future husband must come consult you.
Come consult me. I tell you about Jessica. I tell you do's and don'ts. And I think also because we come from spaces where you often feel like you have to be a certain way. And I think with Jessica, we've both evolved in that sense. We've both evolved in who we think we should be because of who we are next to and who we really are. If that makes any sense. I think we've become more authentic people, actually. Because oftentimes you think you need to hide certain parts of yourself, or you need to exaggerate certain parts of yourself to be more palatable to the next person. And one thing I've learned with Jessica, through us not having a rocky start, is actually you are what you are. Because oftentimes in the beginning I'd be like, okay, am I this? Okay, let me try. Then that means there's something wrong with me. When I've actually come to realize, like, look, we'll do this, but at the end we'll fit. And where are we today? And I think it's more that thing of we've actually had to take the time, especially because we live together. You really need to take the time to say, yo, guys, we're not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. Therefore, we need to fix it. And I think I think that mindset of not going anywhere, therefore fix it, is what keeps relationships going. Exactly. Same with going into marriage. Well, I'm not married, and I wouldn't speak for every married person, but I think if I find my partner, that's what I'm going to take with me. To say, make sure your mind is at the right place. Once a decision has been made, the action is easy. Once you have decided you're going to stay, sizozwana, sizobonana, mina nawe, noma ngathiwani. You can't just hide away. You can't just hide. You can't run away. You can't. This is us. We had a discussion the other day with Jessica, and it was an ambush on my part. This is Jessica. Midnight. She wants to start this conversation. Midnight. This is Jessica. Hey, Jessica, guys, we need an ambush. What did I say? There's people of, and then there's people of social. We need to do this thing. And because for me, I find it very easy to express myself and easy to talk. And Jessica's the same to a certain extent. But I'm more limited than yours. She is. You definitely are, in the sense of you really protect yourself. And it comes from being hurt in friendships. I also have a friend who, you know what I'm about, who's also like that. And it's really, you've both taught me different ways of dealing with that, because I'm I'm intense. I'm an all or nothing type of person. So for me, then, for people who need time, it really, that patience is I learned it the hard way. But learn it I did. At least you did. Some people don't learn. Because people are easy, it's easy to give up. It's easy to move on to the next thing. Exactly. Let me leave and them. When you have a very toxic idea of what friendship is, you just keep dropping people like, I can just replace you. And it won't work out like that. And if you get yourself used to dropping people in friendship, you won't be able to begezela the ones that you shouldn't be dropping, like a marriage, for example, or a sibling relationship or something like that. That's how you find yourself, the people haven't spoken to each other in 2 months, there's no reason. Family hasn't spoken to each other in 3 years, there's no reason for that to happen, honestly. Communication and support is everything. And we're having a discussion with my other friend the other day. We said, what do you value in friendship? And she said support. And we had that discussion, and I said, to me, someone needs to show me how to support them. It's not a one size fits all. It's really not. That communication comes back. And I said communication, and she said, well, every relationship, the bedrock is communication, and that is correct. She's right. It's a basic. If you are not willing to communicate with me, as I always tell people, let's say you come at me angry, I say you cannot be angry at me for something you have not told me would bother you. There's certain things that I would know. You don't go after someone's boyfriend, okay, sharp. Girl code. But there's certain things that I will not know that is a hard limit for you. Okay, and what say you about, you know how there's these general codes where they're like the guy code, or girls, do we have a code? But anyway, we're supposed to. The girl code. How then is it a positive thing to enter a friendship with the assumption that this person is adhering to the general code without you communicating your own personal stance and view on things? I think you should always communicate your personal stance, because even if we are aligned on one thing, we might not be aligned in the same way. So for example, we can all agree, let's say you want kids after marriage. But yes, we can both say that, but how that looks in my head and how that looks in your head are two different things.
Yeah.
You understand? And I think with friendship, a lot of the time is taking the time to understand, not just assume. Don't just, oftentimes they say something happens like, yeah, velu njalo. How do you know? How do you know? How do you know that you are not the one feeding into the situation? Because nothing happens in a vacuum.
True.
So it's that thing of whatever. Sometimes we need to recognize when we are being toxic. And it's not, I'm not a bad person.
That's like a slap in the face to self, to admit it, that when fix it.
So exactly. So this is where you have to put pride and ego aside.
Yeah.
If you care for the friendship and say, I was wrong. And you need to be deliberate. Don't assume just because, okay, now let's go for lunch. Now you've been you need to acknowledge what the wrong was. And I believe in accountability. So for me, in any given situations, I will be accountable for what I am accountable for. And the next person should be accountable for what they are accountable for. And when a situation happens, I always ask myself, what of my reaction is because of my perception of what happened? And what of my reaction is because of what actually happened? And where does the accountability lie? So as opposed to just quickly getting angry or quickly dismissing, say, looking at the situation, what's mine to take? And what's the next person's to take? Because then we grow together. It's not always that I'm right. It's not always that the other person's wrong. It's not always that I'm wrong. Sometimes there's a lot of gray area in life. Life is all about gray areas.
That's true. And then you and your friends can just sketch out the frame, sketch the picture, and it's more clear. Wow, guys, this was really a mouthful, more than expected. I'm lying because I told you she has a PhD in friendship. Thank you so much.
Like a PhD in your opinions.
Oh man, I think your experiences are valid enough to give a clear view to a person who's avoided friendship. You have never avoided friendship. You have been so open to it. You have bared the scars of it, and I truly believe you have loved, like Christ explains that you must be willing to die for your friends, and you constantly die for your friends. You die emotionally, you die financially. Yo.
Just how
you die time. Time is such a valuable, you can't replace a person's time, but you give so much, and I feel that so many people will and can learn from you. And dear all Sisbuli's friends, you guys are super special. You guys are super blessed to have her. I don't know people who give half of what Bully gives to friendships.
I'm humbled.
So please continue being a blessing, even to me, even to everybody.
Jessica, you want to embarrass me on TV?
TV, MBS Talks. Don't want to be a guest because I will embarrass you.
In all the right ways.
Anyway, guys, if you liked the content of the channel, of Sisbuly.
Guys, click subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to the family. Like, comment down below if you guys would like us to just expand on anything that has been mentioned. Feel free to disagree, guys. This is not like we're shoving opinions down your throat. If you disagree, you can vent. This platform is yours to just tell us, even if you honestly and strongly believe that you can get through life without a friend, please explain to us, how does that really work? Because where we
and tell us if you're in a relationship.
Yes, and how that's going.
Exactly, and how that friendship links in to the no friendship and what friendship is considered.
Yeah.
What we consider friendship.
Yeah. Y'all guys can answer that too. So anyway, I'll see you guys next week, I guess. Not I guess, I'll be back. Take care of yourselves. We love you. Lots.